onto the internet and to the world, I guess. It's called the Fantabulous Coloring Book of Masks. It's obviously illustrated by me. Here's the cover. I know this isn't a very fancy book, but I'm living in a world of digital age, so most of the stuff you see will be, it's all on digital, so it's all online now. It's a fairly thick book. We've got 21 masks 21 masks in the book itself. And you see this mask here. I have decided to release it to the world, or to those who care, as a free thank you for coming, and happy Halloween, and also the release date of my book. This is a free mask. You can download the photo. There's links below or on my fan page. And I'm hoping that I can convince some of you, if you enjoy this, take it and color it and share it. If you can DM the colored version to me, or you can post it on my Facebook fan page. It would be great, because then we can start showing people our creativity, and I really wanted to be able to share this book with everyone. It's been a labor of love for far too long now. Almost 4 years I've sort of been working on this book, and I've gone through many different types of ways of trying getting it published. What you don't understand about publishing stuff is that it's a very long process, and you have to believe in the project. This one's great. This is an ape. You have to believe in the product, and almost unwaveringly, because it's a very long process to get to this point. I'd also like to take a moment here to say thank you to Suzanne, who's in the room, Provost. I hope I'm saying that right, Suzanne. Sorry if I'm not. She and I have been working on getting this together for the last few weeks. Who knew there was so much details to get done to just get to a day where you can say it's going to be released. She now has the whole comic book up on her website, Teachers Pay Teachers. I've posted the Halloween mask of the vampire on my page, and if you go there, you can read I've posted the link to that page. I'm just trying to find that mask now. I've posted a link to that page with the free mask. This one is online, and you're welcome to download it and color it. I want to say thank you to her, and thank you to all the kids of the Arctic who I've taught. I spent 10 years traveling the North, and the people of the North inspired me greatly. When I moved back to Canada, when I moved back to Ontario, my home province, my life had changed quite some bit, and my love for the North has always been there. And this book sort of was my way of keeping myself amused during the transition of my complete life change. So it's a labor of love. I've never let it go, and I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. Now, I want to let you know that 10% of all the profits that are made for this book are going to go towards helping underprivileged kids here in Montreal at a place called Dans de la Rue. I've also posted a link to what they do. You're welcome to go and check them out, because it's so important to take care of each other during this time of the pandemic. And the homeless people or people who are struggling now, it's a very tough time, and we need to remember to take care of each other. With that said, I'm having some weird power outages here today in my apartment building, so I'm hoping that this will not be affected during this broadcast. I wanted to share with you a few colored masks that I made from my book. So I'm just going to show you some of these. And here's the signature Douglas Devil. He's a fun character for Halloween. This book makes a great gift for Halloween. It's a great activity for kids, or I guess the young at heart at that, any age. I know I've really enjoyed coloring these masks by hand. This is all done by pencil crayon, but you can color them with anything and everything that you can imagine. I wouldn't try to restrict you. Here's a frogman. I always like his teeth, but they're really crooked, but that's the way I drew them. Something about that, just them being crooked, just makes me feel good about this guy. I don't know why. I guess crooked teeth are exciting to me. Here's a wonderful pumpkin skull. This is a dual project that I'm working with Susan on. About one, this is going to be in the coloring book as a Halloween mask, but it's also going to be in another unit called the Day of the Dead masks, and it'll be an education package about the Festival of the Day of the Dead, which happens shortly into the new month of November. So I'll keep you guys in the loop with that as well. So, and then obviously here I've colorized the vampire, and I've colored him a couple different ways. On the cover, you'll notice that he is done digitally. This one is done with pencil crayon, Prismacolor. Yes. Thank you, Eric, for there's a brand. I'm not sponsored by Prismacolor, but I'd sure love to be. So Prismacolor, if you're watching, please let me be your sponsor, or please sponsor me. Sponsor the artists. So today's the day. So I'm hoping that people will download the free mask and paint it. It's kind of a general call out to all artists and friends. It's great fun to have produced all these, and it's great fun to have, spent some time coloring my own work. But it almost feels a little narcissistic of me, coloring my own coloring book. So I'd really love to have people, color one of my masks for me and share it with me. So and in hopes that I can share it with the world to show people, that other versions of what people imagine these masks could be. So please DM me and or just tag me or post a photo on my fan book page here. And that's about it for the coloring book. It's been a very interesting process, and I'm not turned off by it. I am going to be producing other coloring books. This was my first, so should you purchase it? It's available for purchase online. There's a link in the photo of this mask on my fan page. The book will be $11 Canadian, which is completely affordable. It's all about helping and creating affordable art experiences for people. I'm a firm believer in teaching art and allowing people to express themselves, and this book is just a way for me to express myself artistically, and I'm hoping that I can help enhance that experience for those people who feel that they would like to do something artistic, but feel a little gun shy about being creative. This is a great way to start with creativity, and in the long run, for those parents who are watching or people who love theater, you're also creating a whole cast of characters. Like there's no reason why you couldn't cut these masks out and create characters and perform little plays for your family, in your classroom, with your friends. It's a comic book or a coloring book. I'm not sure why I keep calling it a comic book. That's a weird thing. It's a coloring book that I designed in the hopes that people will just have fun. Coloring books were a huge influence on me as a kid, as you can tell with my drawing style. they really captivated my artistic energy, and are crucial developmental tools. Many of you may know my backstory about mask making. I came into mask making when I was in high school, and I had originally started studying to be a painter, but every time I started painting, I kept getting my hands into the paint, and it was a natural evolution. And then one of my teachers, who was teaching pottery, we cast our faces, and the idea was to make a portrait mask out of clay for ourselves. Not one to wear, but just one as a sculpture. And that project took me 4 years to complete, because it sort of started me on my mask making journey. It ignited my imagination in ways I never perceived possible, to the point where I found myself going out into the world and sitting on park benches and watching people interact and studying faces, studying anatomy, and just really getting involved in the mask making process. So this book is sort of a labor of love, and I'm hoping that people love it as much as I do. So I'm just sort of giving you a slow scroll of what's in the book. I hope that doesn't ruin it for you, but for $11 Canadian, this is a pretty good buy, and everything is hand drawn by me. I did draw them on my digital tablet, my iPad Pro, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy coloring these as much as I enjoyed making them. This one is hilarious, a truck driver, or what I perceive as like a truck driver. And I just love, this one has a hat and it's got nice big ears, and when you wear it, it's just makes you look hilarious. There's so much fun character in these masks. So I'm hoping that there's the devil. I'm hoping that the love that I have for mask making comes out in these. So there's 21 masks in all with this book. Oops, there we go. 21 masks in all, which is a pretty good amount. Oh, this shouldn't be in here. This is a test run, but it would be great. Suzanne, would love to hear the stories about the pictures, how they came about. Well, these masks came about. I was a few years ago. I had sort of changed my life and moved all the way out of the Arctic, back to Ontario, my home province, and I sort of, it's a major life change because I had to sort of start over in a sense, and I was trying to think of something to do just to while I work on getting my studio back up and running, and I had purchased an iPad, and I was doing some drawings, and it just sort of came about innocently. I was just doing some fun doodles and thinking, maybe I'll make a funny little comic book, or film some funny little things, and then I realized I was drawing masks, so each mask sort of came out of just a different exploration of lines and shape, and I wanted to see how few lines I could use to create the most amount of character in a drawing, and of course it was all about the fun of the lines, and this one makes me crack up. You may have noticed I've used it as a profile picture before, so just to amuse myself, I would put it on and do little personal photo shoots with myself. You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it sure helps. I'm just so happy that I've been able to get this book to this point. I was worried about it for years. I've sat and thought about it for so long, And I kept thinking, oh well, it'll never get out there, it'll never be published, and that'll be it. I'll just be done with it. It'll just be my own little thing. There's the cover. Oh, I'm realizing now. I apologize. It's the rear-facing screen, so probably everything on your screen is backwards. But it reads, "The Fantabulous Coloring Book of Masks." So sorry, I forgot that this would be backwards. I'll show my colored versions again. I don't have much more to say, but I do want to make a couple more announcements about what I've been up to. I apologize to my friends that I have not been able to broadcast more. The good news is I've been busy. I've had a few little projects on the go, the comic book being one of them, and a few other little projects, and then living life, and in the pandemic is always keeps it interesting and bizarre. I'm not sure where I was going with this one, but all I knew is I wanted it to be purple, and it almost makes me think of an alien, or with these soft glowing lights going through his face and head, and his little gray beard, a mustache there. So, rah, rah, rah. All right, I'll show you my devil once more. The devil may care. Who knows? Oh, thank you, Olga. I put a free mask up for everyone on my fan page. Please download it. Please have fun coloring it. Should you enjoy that, please go and check out on the online store. Teachers Pay Teachers. It's a teaching resource page where teachers and people like myself, artists, post educational content for children. All the proceeds, or 10% of the proceeds from this mask book, are going towards helping underprivileged children here in Montreal, Canada, for a foundation called Dans de la Rue. I apologize, my French is terrible. It's a place that helps feed children, underprivileged children and homeless children. It does a meal program. It goes out onto the streets and hands out sandwiches to people. It provides educational assistance to kids who are high school dropouts, who are trying to better their lives. It's a continuing educational place. It's a community outreach service. So the idea of doing something, the way I do things, I always try to give back. It's so important to take care of people during this time, especially during the pandemic. It's important every day of the year, but during the pandemic, life has gotten harder for everyone. And we don't often realize how much harder it gets for people who are already underprivileged. And that's not to downgrade anyone's suffering during the pandemic, but we must take care of each other. It's an absolute. So I made it an absolute insistence that everything that I produce for this webpage, 10% of all the profit that I make off it will go to helping underprivileged kids. I absolutely adore teaching, and teaching kids was one of the best things in my life. I spent 10 years traveling the Arctic and teaching all over the north and all over Canada. To be honest, I've taught in just about every province. It's amazing how much I've traveled, and how much the world has changed since the pandemic. Like, I'm no longer a traveling artist. Now I'm an online artist, So I'm, here to try to promote this book so that I can do a little good in the world. Here behind me, I wanted to show you folks, in the summer when I left, I took on a commission for some Day of the Dead masks, and I've been keeping them under wraps because to respect the theater company, but I just wanted to show you the masks that I produced for them. So this is the male Day of the Dead mask, and you know, I set it up as a blank, and now the customer can paint it with the Day of the Dead makeup, skull makeup, or Day of the Dead makeup. And here's the female version of the mask. So I've been sort of keeping this under wraps. One of my favorite things is I use a plaster mold. I made this mold over the summer. I love making plaster molds, but one of my favorite things about making this type of mask is the really interesting, I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but the really interesting paper texture you get. It's got like a folk art feel to it. I like it a little rustic like that. It gives it some life. So when you paint it, it has a flesh kind of texture, but it's this beautiful sort of you know, minorly wrinkled, aged look to it. So, oh, so I don't know, Suzanne, have I promoted this enough? Should I say some more stuff about it? I would love to, you know, just say thank you again. You really went above and beyond, and you kind of re-inspired my great love of art. And this project, you know, this book, sort of I lamented about it for so long. So now it's in the world. It's an actual thing. I've produced my first coloring book, which I didn't want to tell you because until now, because last night I had a huge inspiration for a new coloring book. So I will tell you all about it when we talk in person. But I was like, oh, this has to be a coloring book. I'll show some of my colored drawings here. A link for you mask making. I'm not sure what you mean, like as a YouTube channel or as my live stream here. Oh, okay. Yes, eventually I will have a dedicated YouTube page specifically towards mask making. I have some big plans of creating some educational content on mask making at home. So I have to, I've been a little preoccupied with getting everything ready here with this coloring book. Oh, Cole, thank you for showing up. This book, Cole, I dedicated to you and the kids of the North. You know, Cole was one of the students that I taught many years ago when he was just a kid, and he had such a playful and wonderful soul, and we became good friends. His family and I became good friends. This book is for you, man. Like this playfulness of character, my love of mask. You know, it came from our time together up in the North. Well, I was teaching and we were hanging out, and I was mentoring you as a mask maker. So I want to say thank you to you too. Like you had a big influence on me in my life. You are the fantabulous coloring book of masks by Doug Witt. So I'm so happy that you showed up, man. Thank you. As I was saying before, there is a link to yes, I will put up I sort of haphazardly posted that mask that I wanted to release before I started my live stream, and I will put all the appropriate links, my Instagram, my YouTube page, and the most important link right now is the link to the coloring book. For $11 Canadian, folks, you can be doing you know, me a big favor, but you can also be doing a lot of good. 10% of all the profits made from this coloring book is going to go towards helping underprivileged kids here in Montreal. So once I finish my broadcast here, which should be shortly, I will be making sure that all that information is there. This is sort of a general call out to the few people that showed up. Please feel free to download that free mask that I put out, and color it, paint it, paint it, and do anything you want with it, and share it with me. I would really love to see if people have as much fun painting this my coloring book, or coloring my coloring book, as much as I've had fun making it. That came out very fumbly, but I'm very happy. There is a link, Cole. If you go to my fan page, you'll see this mask here, this Dracula Mask, which is a free download for anyone. It also comes with the coloring book. And if you go, you follow that online link that I've provided, and it will take you straight to the coloring book where it can be purchased online at a website called Teachers Pay Teachers. Suzanne, correct me if I'm wrong, or you're welcome. I'm pretty sure you can post, Suzanne, you can post a link. If I can do it, I will do it as well. Actually, that's a smart idea to sort of post it during the live feed. I'm sorry, guys. I've sort of, I'm doing what I promised I wouldn't do, which is play on my phone during a live feed. But it's so important to share this stuff. Oh, now I'm here. Oh, I don't think it'll let me. So I'm doing that really rude thing, which is live feed and stare at my phone, and I apologize, but it's important. This is the link to the website. I hope it shows up in the speech. Oh, there it is. That's Teachers Pay Teachers, and that is the link to the Fantabulous Coloring Book of Masks. That's where you can purchase this book for $11. And I feel like I've said it so many times, but I really wanted it to be clear. This book is not like, this book was a great experiment. It's taken me 4 years to get it to this point. I've been rejected by 15 publishers. I've talked to everyone that I've ever known that had published a comic book or a coloring book or a comic book or any type of book. And they all say the same thing. It's notoriously hard to get your work published. And several times I've been told self-publishing. And, self-publishing, I really felt like I don't know much about anything. I'm not a graphic artist. And I was really, sort of learning a lot during this process. So I've had my first step into it. Now I have some ideas. And this will for sure not be my last book, but it's definitely my first, and it is a labor of love. I've thought about it for years. So I just want to say thank you to all that showed up today for my live streaming of my first book, The Fantabulous Coloring Book of Masks. I'm so happy to have been able to get this together and out, and now it can be shared with people, hopefully with the world. I would love to see people from other countries coloring my funny little faces to see what they would do with it. So I just have to show you this. Originally, when I had the idea of doing this book, I wanted to have a sticker option to it so that you could have little drawings of moles and hairy moles and pustules and that, so you could color them and then stick them to the mask. But when I colored this piece, I got a little creative, and I took some hot glue and I dabbed the hot glue onto the mask and colored it with a Sharpie. So now it's got like 3D moles on it. So I didn't go so far as to put little pieces of hair in there, but it was just a fun experiment. Any questions? This is the question part of the thing. I'm sorry I sort of missed all the people's questions here, and I'm so happy. I tried to answer as many questions as possible, and I just really want to say thank you again, Susan. This really, I'm so happy that you've gotten to this point. It's really touching. And it feels like I've accomplished something here. Well, I've accomplished something, but it feels like I've accomplished something that I set out to do a long time ago. And it's sort of finally found its place in the world. So I'm happy that it's with you. And I'm so happy that every sale of this book will go towards helping underprivileged kids. That's very important to me. So I think it's been about 35 minutes. I think that's where I'm going to leave this video. I've repeated myself a lot, and not that I'm trying to focus on that, but it's been such a good labor of love, and I'm just so happy that the day of publishing is here. I've been enjoying these drawings for a long time, and suffering with them for a long time too, and a little bit of suffering. But it's given me an opportunity to hone my skills and to sort of focus my energy, and I'm seeing where I want to take my work here a little bit more. Mask making has always been a part of my soul. It always will be. I don't think I'll ever stop mask making. I will be doing more Facebook Lives in the future, just so everyone knows. I sort of got away for it for the summer. I took on a job where I made this mask here. These Day of the Dead masks for a theater company out in BC, and I made 20 of these this summer, so it was quite the undertaking, and I had to sort of keep them under wraps until now, because in respect to the theater company and their performance, and now I can start releasing that. So for the next few days, I'm going to be posting the making of the molds and the process of these masks. And I'll post some photos of my colored masks from my book, and so much more to come, folks. So I'm hoping that I will have the opportunity to see you all again and show you some more mask making. Have a great day, and thank you so much. Please download the photo of the free mask, color it, have some fun, share it with me. Please go buy a copy of this book. It's so important to me that this book goes on to helping underprivileged kids. And it's $11 Canadian. There's a link here in my comments section, but there's also a link on my page with the copy of this free mask. Okay, thank you, Olga. I wish you all the best as well. Oh, I am so glad that you think that they're absolutely amazing. I've worked so hard on it, and I'm just so excited. Today is the day where I get to share it. So have a great day, everyone. Happy Halloween. Be safe and keep healthy, and we'll see you again soon.